A future being is wandering about Nevada and stumbles upon the Yucca Mountain Nuclear Waste Repository. But before he can get too close to the facility, he comes across a peculiar signpost. Further inspection reveals it to be a cubic sign with 4 sequential images, each one on a different face of the cube, so he has to walk around the signpost to get the full message. The first image depicts a desolate space with a dead tree, a spoiled carcass, and metallic spiked elements beneath the dark soil. Each following image will also have the stop sign and warning labels on the bottom, as well as a changing hourglass on the right side. If the viewer can read English, then he will probably leave immediately, without even bothering to look at the remaining images. But if not, then he will continue to walk around the signpost. In the second image, a black figure, here representing a living being, has now entered the scene, and the spiked elements have seeped into the air through the soil. The sand in the hourglass has also begun to fall into the bottom half, indicating both the passing of time and the correct sequential order of the images. At this point, the viewer realizes that the image seen is analogous to his present situation, and that the living being represents him. In the third image, the sand in the hourglass has fallen even more. The living being has also fallen to the ground, and the spiked elements have penetrated his body and changing him from a black figure to a white figure, which more closely resembles the spiked elements themselves. In the final image, the sand has completely fallen into the bottom half of the hourglass, and the living being is living no more, having been reduced to a skeleton sitting next to the original carcass he came across. Text, images, and sign textures all come into play when telling the story of the 4 images. The viewer now realizes that staying in this location will lead to prolonged exposure to an invisible hazard that will kill him over time. So he decides to heed the warning and walk back in the opposite direction.